This amazing ring just here once belonged to Queen Elizabeth I, and it's one of the few surviving pieces of her jewellery that we know she actually wore. The ring has an enormous letter E on it made up of white diamonds, which gives it away that it belonged to Elizabeth. And under the E you can actually make out an R. The R stands for Regina, meaning Queen, and so the ER together is Elizabeth's monogram. Now inside the ring you can see that there's depicted two women. Now the first image is very obviously Elizabeth I herself in profile. You can see the similarities in this portrait just here. The identity of the second woman though has caused a lot of debate. Some people think that she is Anne Boleyn, who was Elizabeth I's mother and who had been executed by her father, Henry VIII, in 1536. You can see from comparing them that actually they look quite similar, and also they're wearing the same French hood, which was a style of hood which was very popular at the English court in the 1530s. Even the jewels and dress depicted here in the painting of Anne are very similar to those on the enamel, but actually some people cast doubt on this theory and say that Anne's hair colour here, which is very dark in this painting, is just not the right colour for the enamel portrait, which you can see is much fairer. But this doesn't necessarily mean that it's not Anne. Over time, the colours in the enamel actually would have changed colour as they reacted with the oxygen, and this is also true of the paint in the painting we just saw. So actually the colours of her hair in both the enamel and the painting may not actually be true. If the ring does indeed depict Anne, then it is an amazing piece of evidence of the affection that Elizabeth held for her mother. There is another theory though, that the ring actually depicts Queen Catherine Parr, who was the sixth wife of Henry VIII and actually the stepmother of Elizabeth after Anne's execution. We know that Elizabeth was very fond of her stepmother and very close to her, and so it's perfectly possible that she would have carried a depiction of her in her ring. The last theory is that the portrait actually depicts Elizabeth when she was younger, and so in the 1570s the Queen could open her ring and look back at a more youthful picture of herself. But I'm really not sure about this theory. Personally, I think that it's Anne, and it is, as I said, an amazing testament to the affection that Elizabeth showed to her memory, despite being not even 3 when she was executed. But what do you think? I'll be very interested to know.